showdown against the Derby Ace Llamados, which will start on Friday. Now, as we are counting down the days to get to the quarterfinals, we are right now counting down to our top 10 plays of the week.
Time now for PBA Top 10 Plays of the Week. Here's number 10, Gabe Norwood with his go-ahead slam. Double clutching it.
And Hickerson, he will lose the ball. Norwood is all alone. And the Elasto Painters overhead, 99-98. It's a very impressive uprising by Wynne Arboleda against Air21.
And next at number 9, the Cliff Brown Fox stealing the pocket of Sam Monroe for this two-handed stuff.
And Cliff Brown picks the pocket of Sammy Monroe. Is he fired up or what? Cliff Brown with his 16-point ball game and a loud one at that.
And at number 8, here comes the Hickerson Express with a spinaroo move.
Arboleda looks at Hickerson. Oh, what a spin! A sweet spin move! Whatever happens to Air21 in this tournament, we will see Hickerson again in the PBA.
Moving in at number 7, Rod Nealy with a split back slam.
Up and under move, Aranya and Rod Nealy with a put back slam. Rain or shine, making the move early here in the fourth quarter. Maybe raining on the outside, but it's shining right now here for the Elasto Painters. But Rod Nealy takes care of business.
Coming in at number 6, Marvin Cruz cruising with John Williamson with a monster slam.
Marvin Cruz with a steal. Marvin Cruz, Williamson again! Holy! Back-to-back slam dunk for John Williamson, courtesy of Marvin Cruz. Right on cue, Marvin Cruz came back into the game, was able to really bring up his feet.
Making it at top 5, Norwood with a dish, Nealy with a finish.
Inside Norwood, and Nealy finishes the play.
Number 4, Chad Alonso with his one-handed pass as Sam Monroe finishes with this flush.
Alonso keeping an eye on where Sammy Monroe finishing off the alley-oop. Those are serious bunnies that he has there. Because it seemed that he wasn't going to be able to make it right. And he just jumped out of the gym.
Number 3, Marvin Cruz cruising with John Williamson version 2.0 with his eye in the sky play.
Look out, yes sir! Marvin Cruz to John Williamson for the alley-oop. As a point guard, you have to keep your head up. Kept his head up, was able to see John Williamson streaking ahead with a nice pass to cap it off.
And at number 2, Ryan Aranya putting up his version of a runner test.
3 seconds to go. Rod Nealy fires. Go! Oh, Aranya got it! Ryan Aranya may have just beaten the buzzer. Nobody boxed out Aranya, and Wynne Arboleda will win this game. Talk about amazing comeback. Alam mo, parang nakita ko rin yung rebound ni Ren Artes.
And at number 1, bring out your cameras, because here comes Cliff Brown giving his poster to Rob Reyes.
Rebound on, hand off to Reyes. Oh, and that's the denial by Roger Yap. And here comes Cliff Brown looking to finish the job. What a slam! That's number 1 on the top 10. We're not even done with the week. This is not a manicure. This is not a pedicure. That's a facial.
Join us again next week for PBA Top 10 Plays of the Week.
Well, there you have it, our top 10 plays of the week. Next time around, we're going to be showing you top 10 coming from our playoffs week. Now, we're going to be breaking down the numbers and how Rain or Shine got to this 15-point advantage. All of that when we come back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Araneta Coliseum for the wild cards of the 2010 PBA Fiesta Conference. And in today's second game, it has been a one-sided affair by far between the Rain or Shine Elasto Painters and the Air21 Express, with the Elasto Painters obviously in control of this matchup, and now they're ahead by 15, 49 to 34. And it's hard to tell really what the story is. Is the story just how good Rain or Shine is playing, or is it how bad Air21 is playing?
You know, remember how we talked about that these two teams really rely much on their import. And I believe on one side, for Air21, it was a situation that they really weren't sure what was going on. Apparently, Leroy Hickerson, and we mentioned this, wasn't really playing up to par in terms of intensity level, and there was a time in which he was getting frustrated. So he didn't play a lot of minutes. But you have to look at the other side. So did Rod Nealy. He did not play a lot of minutes. But although he did not play a lot of minutes, he had better minutes compared to that of Leroy Hickerson.
Well, I think one of the best ways to explain what we've seen here in the first two quarters is to revisit the webpage. Some of those notes we talked about at the top of the coverage, starting off with Air21.
You know, for Air21, they did do a couple of things well. They first turnovers, and they were able to run because when you compare the number of points off turnovers, they had a +3 over Rainer Shine. They forced 12 turnovers to a team that averages about 15 or 16. So they were doing that well. But then, of course, they also gave up a lot of turnovers. So that's a mild check on their part. Then, of course, next up, consistent local support. You look at the field goal percentage of the locals. That is just, that can't get it done. 26% for the locals. 13 out of 49 from the field. If Hickerson's not going to play a lot of minutes, those locals have to step up and give that support that's much needed. Finally, they have to contain Nealy. Much of the containment of Nealy really came from the number of personal fouls that Nealy had. He only had actually played 10 minutes, not 2 minutes, played 10 minutes and had 4 turnovers.
And now moving over to the Rainer Shine side as far as the webpage is concerned, and let's do a quick health check on how they're doing.
On the other side, when you look at what Rainer Shine is doing, it's all check marks for them. For Straight Hickerson, he played 10 minutes as well. He only had 4 points, and obviously those 4 points seemed like they even weren't aggressive 4 points for them, so they were really able to frustrate him. Next up, they had to hit their threes. Excellent from three-point range, 4 out of 9, almost 50%. That's about 44%. And finally, play with Sol. Sol Mercado had 13 points, and obviously they had a good start. They played with a lot of energy, and they have that big lead here after the first half.
Well, those points definitely shed a lot of light on this particular matchup. And I think an interesting story can also be told by our leading scorers list. Take a look at the top scorers of the Rainer Shine Elasto Painters. Nealy's a standard on there, on that list. He hasn't scored a single point in this ball game. While on the other hand, you have Kramer, you have Sharma, and actually Leroy Hickerson should actually be on the list as well for Air21. He's got 4 as well.
And, but look what Rainer Shine was able to get from their locals. Jervy Cruz getting 9 points. That's a big bonus right there. And Jeff Chan, 8 points, and so that's a good half for him. On the other side, you need some production from Ron J. Buenafe. Yes, he has 4 points. But if Hickerson is not going to be able to give his normal numbers, some of the locals are going to have to come up and fill up that scoring that they're losing.
Well, we're seeing Leroy Hickerson finally back on the lineup for the Air21 Express. But should Hickerson's output not come up to par yet again, we already know that Ron J. Buenafe is going to be important. Any other Air21 Express player you're looking at?
When you talk about guys that can really score in that lineup, the one guy that can really score is Renren Ritualo. But obviously, Renren Ritualo has lacked the consistency for this year, for this conference for them. But, you know, when you're inconsistent, maybe today's the day that you're going to have that hot day.
And now with the inside scoop from the dugout, here's Patricia Hizon.
Well, the coaches did have a heart-to-heart with Leroy Hickerson at the half. He obviously has been used already. Now, they told him if he won't follow the strategy or the system, they will definitely lose. So with that, he's accepted that he's got to play a better team role here in this second half. Now, the flow of the team is very important. Defensively, they got to put the shackles on Mercado. They told him not to block his shot, but draw a charge from him. Let's see if they can do that. And they also want to play a faster game this time around. Vito?
Thank you, Patricia. And look who's fired up out of the dugout. The Air21 Express scoring quickly thanks to Ron J. Buenafe, bringing that lead now to 11. And this 30-second timeout brought to you by Handy Fix. On first aid ang bahay mo, bonds all, seals all.
But a different attitude altogether coming out of that halftime speech of Coach Yengel. His players, you see them right now. They've got their heads down. They're attacking the basket. And just entirely very positive when you look at their demeanor on the court.
The season is on the line for these two teams. It is a knockout match to settle the winner, who will meet the Coca-Cola Tigers in another knockout match on Wednesday.
Speaking about very positive, you can see that Ron J. Buenafe, he's attacking the basket. That's his 6th point. And like we said, Air21 is going to need more from him.
Nealy covered now by Mamaril.